This tutorial will show you how to use the auto or timed interval mode in the Pet Tutor app, and this is appropriate for Android or iOS. We're going to assume that you've already connected to your feeder and that you've named it. In this case, I've got one called Walter's Pet Tutor here, and I've gone through the connection steps and I've gone into the start training, and now I'm sitting here inside the start training screen, and you'll notice this little green clock right above the feed button. That is the auto mode or timed interval mode, and when it's green it means start the timed interval mode. And so we're going to do that now. So I'm going to press that and I'll get a pop-up, and you'll see here I have some information that I can enter in this screen. The first is the session length, or how long you want the feeder to run. So it's going to dispense, and it'll wait a period of time according to this program, and it'll dispense and it'll wait again, and it'll keep doing that. For this particular setting, I've got 10 minutes. So in this case, it would be 10 minutes. Let's say that I wanted to do this for 3 minutes. I would enter 3 minutes here. That means the feeder will run on its own for 3 minutes. I should mention too that when you set this program up and send it to the feeder, the phone app no longer needs to be in the vicinity. This program has been stored in the feeder. So now I'm going to move to my second setting here. You can see that I've got a 5 for the shortest period of time between dispenses. Let's say I wanted to make that 6 seconds up to a maximum of, let's make that 12 seconds, just to change things up a little bit. So now what's going to happen for 3 minutes, the feeder will run dispensing a treat somewhere randomly between 6 and 12 seconds. And that random variation is good for a lot of training applications, and feeder will automatically do that for you. So it's going to draw, you can think of it drawing a number out of a hat between 6 and 12 in this case, and each time it dispenses, it'll wait for a random amount of time between these two numbers until the next one dispenses. The last value that you can enter is the treat size, and that allows the unit to estimate how many cups of food will be dispensed. In this program here, I've got medium-sized kibble, and it's only going to be about 2/10 of a cup of food, so not very much. If I hit the small kibble button, it's even less, so it's a smaller volume of food for the smaller treat. If I hit the large kibble button, now it's a little bit more in terms of the volume of food that's been dispensed. These two, I'm going to close out that number entry keypad, and now I've got three different presets that I can use. One is the factory default. I'll show you that in just a second. But the other two you can set. These are user presets. So if I like this program, I can hit preset 1, and now I've got an option to either update or use it, and I'm going to update it. So that means save it off. So now I've saved off those presets. Let's say I want to use the factory default. I've changed my mind, and now I've reloaded the factory default settings. So I've got 10 minutes, and it's dispensing between 5 and 10 seconds using a medium-sized kibble. If I want to go back to my preset, and you'll see here if I run this program, it's going to cycle 85 times. It'll dispense, the feeder will dispense 85 times, and during that, for a medium-sized kibble, it's going to be almost a cup of food, in this case 9/10 of a cup. But let's say I want to go back to that preset I had earlier. I'm going to hit that button. Now this time, instead of update, I'm going to hit use those values. And now you can see I've restored the values that I entered before. So if you got a program that you like, that you run all the time, this will save you from having to enter those numbers. Or let's say you're working with a couple of different dogs. That's dog 1 is preset 1, dog 2 is preset number 2. Use those any way that you like. Now, just to be clear, these bottom two values, estimated cups and number of dispense cycles, you cannot directly change those. The user cannot change those. They are dictated by the program that's entered above. So if you want to dispense more food, the simple way to do that is just to increase how long you're going to do it. So if I move it from 3 to 5 seconds, now you can see I'm going to dispense a half a cup of food. So just increasing the session time, or you can shorten how long it's going to run between each dispense cycle, will give out more food. But those are calculated values. You cannot enter those. It's again based on the the program that you're going to enter. Now, something else you might run into, if you put in a really big value, let me show what happens. Let's say we're going to run for 200 minutes. That's a very long program. You'll notice that the estimated cups and the number of dispense cycles is now turned red. Red means you really maxed out the program. You can only enter uh, 255 dispense cycles. And if we were to run that, the program's not going to run this many, but if we were to run it, that would be 20 cups of kibble. So that's really far too big for the feeder to dispense. The unit will hold 5.5 cups of kibble, so that's the maximum. Here I've backed my program down to a 20-minute session, and during that 20 minutes for a large kibble, it's going to dispense 2 cups of food, and it's going to run 133 dispense cycles, based again on the values that I'm entering above. Now, if I'm not sure what I want to what these values mean, if you press the help, we get a little pop-up here, and notice you can scroll that. So I'm taking my finger and scrolling up and down. Just put your thumb on the text and move it up and down, and you can see all the values. And if you're not sure about the treat size, for instance, down here, we give you some ideas of approximately what we mean by small, medium, and large. Small is about a pea size, medium is about a size of an M&M, and large is about a lima bean. So just to kind of give you an idea what we use when we estimate how much food's going to be distributed on your program. So I'm going to close out that help screen. If I wanted to change my mind, I just hit cancel. And now I'm going to run this program that I've got shown here for 20 minutes, cycling between 6 and 12 seconds. I press the OK. And now the program has started. I get a little pop-up. It just tells me what I'm running. I hit OK to close that out. Notice that the clock has now turned red. Red means stop the program. Green means start the program. So that's how you keep track of what the color means. Red is push to stop. Green is push to start. So this program is running in the feeder right now. If I wanted to stop it before it completed, I would hit that little red symbol and it turns green again. So I've stopped the auto mode. Now, just another thing to point out, while it's running the program, let's say a cat runs through the room and your dog is really good, but it's going to be a little while before he gets another treat. You can always add an additional dispense cycle with this manual feed button. So if something happens and you want to give an additional reward for your dog, or let's say that you want to set the program up, but you want to start off manually dispensing more frequently and then stop later on and let the auto program just continue on, you can add additional, as many as you want, feed cycles in between the automated cycles. You can just press the blue feed button, and that will not affect the auto program. It'll keep running. So that's how you use auto program. And if you have any questions, as always, contact us at support@pettutor.biz, pettutor.biz. That's support@pettutor.biz if you have any additional questions. Thank you.